Archilochus, Selected Elegiacs, Episode 3. Here are two elegiac couplets by Archilochus, as recorded by Plutarch in his Customs of the Spartans. Aspidi men sa ion tisaga letai hain parathamno, en tasamo me ton, kalepanuk gethelon. Auton dex esa o satimoi meleas pisakene, ereto exautis, te somai u kaki o. These are elegiac couplets. Remember, the first line is a line of dactylic hexameter made up of dactyls, long, short, short, and spondies, long, long. And the second line is a double hemi-epes, 2.5 feet, 2.5 feet. En tasamo me ton, kalipanuk gathalon, like so. Now for the meaning and the analysis. A certain one of the scions, a Galatai, is delighting in my shield, a spidi. Notice the men here, which will be picked up by the de in the second couplet. That is a shield which, near a bush, paratamno, I left, kalapon, and I did it ukathelon, unwillingly, against my will. It was a blameless amometon piece of equipment, entas amometon. But, that's the de, I saved myself. There's the object, auton. What or why, that's T, does that shield, aspisikene, matter to me? Notice this is a question. There's the question mark. Erreto, let it go. Again, I shall acquire, a second time, one that is no worse. U kakeo. This is a comparative adjective, referring back to the shield, which is the first word in the couplet. Kakeo is the final word of the second couplet. Now let's look more closely at some of the syntax and the style. So it begins with this feminine singular dative, aspidi, which is from he aspis, a third declension, noun, which means a shield. It is feminine, and if one didn't know the gender in advance, one could tell if they knew the gender of this relative pronoun, hain. The subject comes here, further on in the line, someone. It's going with this genitive plural. Someone of the Sayans, agalatai, is rejoicing. This is from the verb agalomai. It's a deponent verb. It's in the present tense, third singular. Agalomai. Some Sayan is rejoicing in my shield, aspidi. As you can see, agalomai takes the dative of means, to rejoice by means of the shield. One which, hain now in the feminine singular and accusative, because as with all relative pronouns, the number and the gender is determined by the antecedent, i.e. aspidi. The case is determined by its use in its own clause. Hain is the object of kalapon, the finite verb. Which shield, hain, near a bush, I left, kalapon. This is an epic form in the aorist of the verb katalepo, to leave behind, which I left behind near a bush. And I was not willing when I did so. Now this is a nominative participle. It's present tense. It's masculine, singular, and nominative. And as is often the case, participles, i.e. adjectives in the nominative, should be translated as adverbs. I did not leave it there willingly. It was a blameless piece of equipment. This is neuter, singular, and accusative in apposition with hain. And we will have to save the rest of this two-couplet poem for the next episode.